19 points rather off of 6 3-pointers. Shot 43% from downtown. And that made up a majority of her scoring. As the opening tip, Ubata seemed to have won it. But aggressive play by Puerto Rico, tipping it out of bounds. Nieves. So Adriana Robles inbounds and starts the offense. Attacking from the free throw line and blocked at the rim, Sofia Borges. Borges has also had a solid tournament run, 6.5 points per game, 8.7 rebounds. As off the inbounds, a 3 on the way. That one no from Puerto Rico, and that is something you can get used to for this game. Puerto Rico is a team that likes to shoot a lot of 3-pointers. In fact, they were second in 3-point percentage in this tournament on their way to 2 wins. And Sarah Martins, you're going to see that a lot too. Attacking the basket, getting a lot of shots up. The leading scorer for this Brazil squad. As these two teams, very similar stat-wise outside of a few categories. A 3 on the way. Dara, no. Out of bounds. It will go Brazil's way, and you can get used to that as well from Dara. Fires a lot of 3-pointers. 8.3 3-pointers per game in this tournament. And knocks him down at a pretty high clip as down low, using a height advantage. Borges draws the foul. No, I believe. Nope, they do blow the whistle for a foul, and Borges heading to the free throw line. There is a slight height advantage, especially in the starting lineup for Brazil, as they are an average height of 5'9", Puerto Rico an average height of 5'8". But across the starting lineup, Puerto Rico going down the list: 5'1", 5'7", 5'7", 5'7", and 5'11". No one above 6 feet tall. As another offensive rebound, shot on the way, Cavalcanti well short. But that is a relatively short starting lineup. 3 players at 5'7". Jada Dara, their leading scorer, at 5'1". And then for Brazil, got 3 players at 5'10" or 5'11" with the 2 point guards, Italy Sanchez and Michaela Cavalcanti. Driving into the basket and has it ripped. Good defense by Borges. And they try to get it down low to Ubata, who's had a very solid tournament as well. Last game was a spectacular performer. 12 points, 16 rebounds to go along with 4 dimes. As what a play down low. Way to drop it in. Jaylee De Leon scores for 2. Sanchez with the nice fake and finish. On the same motion as Brazil, able to pick up the pace right there. Robles at the free throw line. De Leon back out to Canales. A 3-pointer. Robles, no. Tipped over to Martins, who wasn't ready for it, out of bounds. It will stay with Puerto Rico. Right now we're looking at 71 likes over on the YouTube channel, FIBA the Basketball channel. Make sure to head there and give us a like. We're having some fun here early in the first quarter of Game 1 of the quarterfinals. A shot along the baseline, boarded by Ubata. Nieves, no good on the jumper. As they find Borges down low again. Finishes for 2. And finding her with some efficiency is something that this team is very much looking for. As she does most of her work inside the arc, but has struggled with her shot to this point. Puerto Rico, Dara fires a 3. Shot no. And the rebound comes out Cavalcanti. Down low Ubata, double sent very quickly, and it will stay with Brazil with the early 6-2 lead. Appreciate all the engagement in the chat. We're at 78 likes. Quite a few fans from Puerto Rico. Lawrence Aston, what's going on? Alberto says, go Puerto Rico. Alaris says, let's go, number 1, Del Rio. As the inbound comes, Cavalcante, another person rooting for Jada, number 3, Jada Jera, has had a fantastic tournament. As Cavalcante again off the mark on her triple, but can get hot in a hurry for Brazil. For Brazil, it's going to be very important to guard Puerto Rico's three-point shots, as they can really get it going, and it's where they do a lot of their damage, as Sanchez just couldn't keep it in bounds. Jorge Emilio says rooting for Jada, number 3, Jada Jera, excuse me. Victor Rodriguez says, let's go, Puerto Rico. Lawrence gives a shout out from Reno. Erita says, bye, Brazil. A few more let's go Puerto Ricos as they fire a 3, and that's good. The first three-pointer down. And that's how you know Puerto Rico ready to play. Robles in for 3. Down low and passing around. Back comes Puerto Rico. Shot at the rim, good for 2. Jada Jera. So shifty as they settle right back in to some full court pressure. Ubata doubled down low and turns it over yet again. Turnovers, 29.3 for Brazil, a struggle for them in this tournament. They are actually 7th when it comes to taking care of the basketball. 28.7 turnovers per game. For Puerto Rico, they do a little bit better job, 4th in the tournament, only 21.7 turnovers per game. 82 likes, go ahead and flip that like button. As we're in a close one, Puerto Rico on their own 5-0 run. We'll see if Brazil has anything to say about it on this possession. The kick out, 3 on the way. Sanchez off the mark, and Brazil a bit off the mark from downtown to start this ball game. Puerto Rico spacing things out, and that's what they like to do. As they start this game 1 for 5 from downtown. The teardrop, no. And back comes Brazil, who is 0 for 4 from downtown. Off to a quick 6-2 lead. And since then, we're in a stalemate as Cavalcante steps inside the arc for 2. Michaela Cavalcante, after starting 0 for 3 from downtown, takes a step inside and knocks it down. Sometimes that's all you need. As Jera attacks baseline, pitch, and a pass over off the bench. Mirambo into the ball game for Puerto Rico, and Robles finishes at the rim. Back and forth we go. A couple more lead changes. It's a 2-3 zone being played. Borges fires from 3. That shot, no. Robles with the board. And quickly up ahead, where she is fouled. So the substitution to get Mirambo into the ball game. A center at 16 years of age. Stands 6 feet 2 inches tall. Now the tallest player on the court for Puerto Rico. An interesting decision for Michelle Gonzalez on her sideline. As the Iverson cut ran for Jera, who now is going to come off a couple more screens. Robles attacking middle. Stops and hands it off. De Leon, no. The follow and Mirambeau. Much to the delight of the Puerto Rico bench. Bordes back to Cavalcanti. Martins tries from 3. That one off the mark, and back comes Puerto Rico. A shot quickly. No good from the corner is Dara. And yet another rebound for Brazil. As it's Giovanna de Freitas checking in. Bordes tries from 3, no. And Brazil settling right now for quite a few triples, where they have still yet to hit 0 for 7 in the ball game. Very fortunately, they have 5 offensive rebounds. And they did another possession. Cavalcanti thought about a 3, fires it, and nets it. Beautiful finish. We saw a lot of that in the final game of Group B pool play back on Thursday. As driving inside, firing up the shot, no. Robles handling the point and out of bounds. It will go Brazil's way, all tied at 11. And we've got a good one to this point. As Roberta Soares catches the tough pass against the press and sends it back across the half-court line. Tough turnover for Brazil as Suarez checks in the 6'2" center to kind of rival some of that size from Mirambeau down low. Suarez did not play the first game, but played in the last 2 and was a huge success with a double-double in her second to last game. Good defense from Bordes forces the miss. And Brazil comes away with it. This 2-3 zone from Puerto Rico has worked very well as Bordes can't finish from the left block. And back the other way inside. Finishing with the left hand. Nieves. Desiree Nieves. Nearly forcing a turnover on the next possession. Bordes comes away with it. Sarah Martins does a lot for this team, handling the basketball as well as being the scorer at small forward. Sanchez steps into a 3, that time no. And a foul underneath against De Freitas, or no, that was Suarez, excuse me. As Brazil tries to check a few players in. Luciana Tomazini, also the head coach of ADC Bradesco, coaching this squad for Brazil. Checks back in. Esther Ubata, who has had quite the tournament. As we reach the end of this first quarter, 40 seconds, we encourage you, please tune in here on YouTube and get involved in the chat. Having some great time as a shot on the way, good for 2. It was Alanis Iturino. Bordes down the other way, and a travel is called. But again, our YouTube chat, having a lot of fun. Gonna get to them a lot here shortly. But try and get there. Searching FIBA U16 Americas on YouTube or going to FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16 Women/2023, where there's a lot of information for you, as well as a link to this YouTube stream. Hop in here, like, share, interact with it, as well as on Facebook and Instagram at NextGenHoops, using the hashtag FIBA U16 Americas. Nieves fires up a shot across the lane and is fouled on the way up. Desiree Nieves. I know we've got some fans in the chat wondering where she was, and she stepped up as of late, scoring on a tough left-handed layup. Now 1 for 2 from the field, and it's a trip to the free throw line for this Puerto Rico team, seemingly in control over the last few minutes. As the first free throw falls, Nieves in the tournament has been averaging 12 points and 8 rebounds to go along with a couple of assists. That is very good rebounding from a guard to go along with the scoring. As Cavalcanti will have to fire a wild shot from half court. That one no good, and the first quarter comes to a close, 17-11. Puerto Rico responds to the early Brazil start, settling into that 2-3 zone and going on a 15-5 run to close things out, giving them a 6-point lead heading into the break. You see it struggling, both teams struggling from three-point range, but the full court pressure as well as the 2-3 working wonders.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation, representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands? It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
Welcome back. Second quarter action underway from Mexico here in the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship. It's the quarterfinals round, and we are in the first of a 4-game slate this afternoon, with Puerto Rico holding a 6-point advantage. Not for long. Michaela Cavalcanti has other ideas. Down to 3, 17-14 as Cavalcanti knocks down her second triple. That's something they're going to need a lot more of, as we sit in a 3-point contest. 3-pointers, as I mentioned at the end of the first quarter, struggling for both teams. But Cavalcanti tries to knock down 2 in a row. Just hits the back of the iron on that one. Looked good from my vantage point. As driving the other way, Iturino has it poked away. Thinking about a transition 3, instead gives it up. And down low for Ana de Oliveira. Shot on the way, no. From De Freitas, Ubata comes out of the pile with it. Being pressured, Cavalcanti steps into a floater. Off back iron twice and no good. Mirambo picks up the rebound. Played a huge role. After not playing much in the last game, only 1 rebound, did not attempt a shot. Already has 2 points this afternoon. The ball finds its way to Nieves. Shot on the way, floater off the mark. So a substitution coming, as Teresa Del Rio into the ball game out there with Alanis, Iturino, Nirta Mirambo. Mirambo, just checks out. Jaylee De Leon, as well as Valeria Munoz and Desiree Nieves in the ball jam. Robles also checks back in as the shot no from Martins. Rebound, poked away. What a steal from Cavalcanti, who finds Ubata inside, trying to power through, and is fouled on the way up. Teresa Del Rio picks up the foul, and Ubata, off a great catch, nice strong post move, takes the contact and picks up the whistle. As Brazil fighting to keep this a close game after a 15-5 run from Puerto Rico to close the first quarter, coming in as the number 2 seed. From Group A, third or fourth in the tournament of 8 teams based off of the bracket, or pool play rather, as De Freitas can't follow on the missed free throw, and a foul underneath, I believe, goes against Brazil. Thank you so much for joining us here and for watching. Please try and hop into our YouTube stream and get involved in the chat. Communicate with others, and I'll try to jump to a few comments. But this game is just so good so far. As Robles gives it away to Nieves. And up top, scoring at the rim, Del Rio, 19-14. Ubata has it poked away. The zone working in more ways than one. As a three-pointer off the front of the iron. Rebound Ubata. Takes it up herself, launching a pass. Good find for Martins, who can't get it back to her down low. Instead, Borges, sweet high-low passing as Ubata is fouled at the rim and heading back to the free throw line, where she just missed a pair. Again, thank you for watching. Go to YouTube, search FIBA U16 Americas, or go to FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16 Women/2023. So much information on this tournament, as well as a link to this live stream. You can get in here, like, share, and interact with us, as you can also jump on social media, Facebook or Instagram at NetsGenHoops using the hashtag FIBA U16 Americas. Second shot on the way, Ubata, as a lane violation is called against Puerto Rico. No, against Brazil. I'm not quite sure what the call was there. Nonetheless, 1 for 2 at the stripe. Nieves has it ripped away. De Oliveira up to Cavalcanti. Nice catch. Gets it down for Ubata. Fires a shot up. No. Borges can't handle the offensive rebound. And De Leon comes away with it. Robles. Sweet crossover move. Driving dish. Shot on the way. No. De Leon's follow. Won't go. And Jaylee De Leon, a 5'11" center at the age of just 14, stepping to the free throw line off the offensive rebound. Our chat having a great time. 119 likes. See if we can't get that up to around 125. As I'll chime in here, let me know in the chat where you're watching from. We'll be sure to give you a shout out. As the second quarter reaches the halfway mark, Puerto Rico up by 5. Three-pointer on the way from Sarah Martins. Shot no. Ubata well blocked out. And the board to Robles. 121 lights. Keep them coming. As De Leon turns it over. For Puerto Rico, had 21 turnovers in the last game, more than Colombia. Just were able to shoot it at a better clip. Came out with a close 67-62 win over Colombia. Borges shot on the way and it falls. And back comes Puerto Rico. Shot on the way, no. Brazil on the little back and forth. Brazil looking to tie it. 3-0. Borges off the march as well. 128 lights. Let's hit that even higher. As Puerto Rico can't knock down the triple. Let's see. We've got Juan Pablo tuning in from Bogota, Colombia. As Borges. And a timeout for Puerto Rico, 20-17, or 20-19, excuse me, as after Borges' last bucket. And 4:21 to go in the second. We get a timeout from Puerto Rico as Brazil hanging around and seemingly stopping Puerto Rico on the offensive end after they got out to a hot start midway through the first. So yes, Juan Pablo from Bogota, Colombia. Appreciate you tuning in. We've got a let's go from Keith, the shooter. Dr. Thierry Timbameta says from Switzerland. Thank you for tuning in, Dr. Thierry. Where else? Zach Hillen. How you doing, Zach? Been a couple of days. Hope you're doing well. Also says, let's go Puerto Rico. Vanya Vitoria says, let's go Brazil. Lutis says, Puerto Rico. So we've got a lot of comments. Keep them coming. Keep interacting. We're having a great time. 131 lights. With a 1-point game, we have a good one coming your way. A little more than halfway through the second quarter. As Dr. Thierry's right, says Brazil stopped the bleeding. It's a great way to put it. If they have scored the last 4 points. Into the lane, a wild floater, no. Rebound deflected out. They will say off of Puerto Rico. As Michelle Gonzalez and Puerto Rico did not like that one. And I'm not sure what the official called there. Nonetheless, Brazil operating against this 2-2-1 zone. Ana de Oliveira. And Brazil looking to take the lead. A step back three. Off the rim twice. No. Ubata. Yes! Brazil takes the lead here in the second quarter. You just love to see the passion from an Esther Ubata, who gets right back into a low defensive stance. Right in the paint. Pulls down the board off the missed three. Some more shout outs. Unknown asking if I'm the same commentator from the Dominican game. I did do all of Dominican's names, so I believe so. Unknown, appreciate you tuning in. As another 3 falls, Brazil takes a 4-point advantage. As a game of runs, now resulting in a 9-0 Brazil run. It was 20-15. As Puerto Rico will try to stop the bleeding, and there they do. On an offensive rebound. Tough bounce for Brazil. And De Leon able to finish. Ubata gives it up. Cavalcanti. Over to Sanchez. Open for 3. No. Rebound deflected by Guerra. Out of bounds. It will go the way of Brazil. Daniel says, hello everyone, I'm from Portugal. Daniel, thank you for tuning in. Victor wants to see number 20 and number 2 for Puerto Rico. Valeria Munoz, as well as Rosemary Lisojo. Excuse me for the pronunciation there. Victor, thank you for tuning in. Monica's Vamos, Puerto Rico. And also cheering for Puerto Rico, as they have a chance to either tie or take the lead. Robles attempts the tie, shot well off the mark, and a shot clock violation. Great defense from Brazil, and Puerto Rico needing to solve some things. They have really been successful in this tournament from behind the arc. Shooting 30%, the second highest 3-point percentage in the tournament, as they force a jump ball with the pressure as well. Their defense has been pretty solid. It's just a slight height disadvantage underneath. They have done a really good job with a few substitutions of trying to conquer. As a whistle is blown and a foul is called against Puerto Rico. See, where did we leave off? Danny says, let's go Puerto Rico. Inspiring Quotes says, Brazil will win this game. There's a prediction. We have J.M. Mendoza saying, go, go, go Brazil from the Philippines. Appreciate you tuning in from the Philippines. Let's see, where else can we turn in? Zach Young says, had to work during the last Canada game, but we really showed why we are the biggest threat to the United States. With the dominant win over Argentina, it was a crushing victory. It was close, Zach, after one quarter. And then Canada. At times, it was hard for Argentina to get the ball across half court. It was all Canada's. Another 3 off the mark for Puerto Rico. And Brazil forces a jump ball. Juan Pablo says, hoping to see 2 non-blowout games today. Brazil and Colombia. I will be on the call for both of those, as I've got the afternoon games before Craig takes over. Puerto Rico and Brazil starting things off 24-22, as we're in a bit of a scoring drought with 1:20 left in the first. As well as Argentina and Colombia following that up. Followed by the United States and the Dominican Republic, and Canada and Mexico. As we did a timeout, let's hop over to the chat a little bit more. See what everybody else is thinking. As Ange seems to be a fan of Ubata. We so greatly appreciate you for tuning in. Zach Leon says Brazil has got to make sure Ubata touches the ball on offense. Really liking that post presence and having that size advantage down low. Nancy says, come on, Puerto Rico. Says, stay focused. Thank you for tuning in, Nancy. Natalie says they need to bring in Nieves, number 33. Desiree Nieves for Puerto Rico. Let's see. Where else are people watching from? Let me know as we come out of the timeout. Caesar says Brazil might be a little bit better as they come out with some intense defense. Michael Polanco says Puerto Rico in the house. Appreciate you tuning in and chiming in the chat. Jeshua says let's go Puerto Rico with the Puerto Rican flag. More calls for Nieves. Natalie says if Nieves plays, this is over. Number 33 for Puerto Rico. Misses that shot on the follow. Again off back iron. Staying after it. It will stay with Puerto Rico underneath. Let's see. Where else are we? Jeshua says Puerto Rico will win by 1. That's another prediction for you. Let me know what you think about that. Puerto Rico or Brazil? Who do you got? As Nieves is blocked out of bounds. Big time block from Borges. As Brazil had 5 blocks in their last game. Averages about 5.3. Good for 4th in the tournament. As they force another turnover off the inbounds. Brazil with a 2-point advantage. And they force another timeout. Coming down to the last minute. You've got the timeouts. You might as well use them. This basketball is really what matters. As these teams both trying to find their way into the semifinals. As that will earn them a spot in the FIBA U17 Women's World Cup in Turkey in June of 2024. As Brazil takes the timeout. Thank you so much for watching. Try to hop over into our YouTube stream. Get involved in the chat. You can find it by searching FIBA U16 Americas on YouTube or at FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16Women/2023 where you can make sure to like and share as well as interact in the chat or on Facebook and Instagram at NextGenHoops using the hashtag FIBA U16 Americas. Make sure to follow us there as well as our YouTube channel, FIBA, the basketball channel. 24-22. Coming down to the last minute of the first half. Zach Young mentioning Canada's win yet again, saying Canada, they're pressed just too much for teams to handle, and that proved true last time out, as they are the number 1 seed out of Group B, playing very well at 3-0. Vaughn saying it's 3 a.m. here in the Philippines. Well, then we appreciate you so much for tuning in, as we're hoping to bring you a quality broadcast with some good basketball with a lot on the line. Brazil and Puerto Rico starting things out here for a 4-game slate of the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship. Unknown says Ubata is playing like Ibata. Serge Ibata, that is. As Martins fouled at the rim. And says, yeah, Syria. Zach Young mentioning again. Give Ubata the ball and good things will happen as Martins at the stripe. Alberto saying, let's go Puerto Rico. Jada Dara, make them 3-pointers count, Alberto says. Thank you for chiming in. Alexi, watching from the moon. Let's go Puerto Rico. Antonio, tuning in as well. Sarah Julie says, let's go Ubata, my little sister. Sarah, thank you for tuning in. So cool. Really cool moment as Martins makes both free throws. And with 45 seconds left, a 4-point ball game. Brazil, having gone on a run, make it 11-2 after a 15-5 Puerto Rico run. Hounding Puerto Rico on defense As a large step back creates some space, but the long two-pointer no good from Robles. Down low, shot on the way, Ubata in for two. Down to the last 10 seconds. Makes it a 13-2 run. Another one poked away, a chance for more. A pull-up shot, no, poked away, and to end the first half, 28-22, as I believe that does it. They will call it through one half of basketball. Brazil starts hot, goes in a little bit of a cold spell, as Puerto Rico went on their own little run before Brazil closing things out, and doing so on both sides of the court. 44% from the field compared to 31%, as they do it all inside, knock down a few triples during this run, and stop Puerto Rico from scoring down the stretch of that first half. Take a 6-point advantage into the break, as the rebounds pretty even. A much higher percentage from the field for Brazil compared to Puerto Rico, as Cavalcanti having a great game. Brazil, 9 assists compared to 2 for Puerto Rico. 5 steals compared to 4. Fewer turnovers, 7-9. 2 blocks compared to 1. And leading the way for Brazil, 11 points from Michaela Cavalcante. 4 from 11 from the field. 3 3-pointers in that first half. 6 from Sofia Borges. 4 from Sarah Martins. 5 from Esther Ubata. And Brazil rolling as we hit one half of basketball. We'll come back with some more stats. Talk in the chat, as we are just in the first game out of 4 between in the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship quarterfinals. The winners today advance to the semifinals, as well as earn their spot in the FIBA U17 Women's World Cup in June of 2024 in Turkey. One half of basketball in the books, 28-22. Brazil leading Puerto Rico. Thank you so much for tuning in. Second half after this.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation? Representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands. It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
Hello and welcome back for second half action. Andrew Willett on the call. You can find me on social media at the AC Willett, WILLETT22, or at APB Show, as I will be bringing you the first two games over the final 3 days of the tournament. The bracket has been established, and we are starting the quarterfinals. One half of basketball is in the books for quarterfinal action, and Brazil, starting out with the ball, has a 28-22 advantage through one half. As Puerto Rico at times looked really good, but then Brazil, after a hot start, was able to finish on an even better start, 13-2 run, as they forced yet another turnover, hounding defense on one end, and the offense calming down, settling in a little bit better on the other. Cavalcanti, Michaela Cavalcanti, that is, running the show very well for Brazil. And a close game. It's a fun one, as Puerto Rico, the second seed from Group A, Brazil, the third seed from Group B. And it would be an upset for Brazil if they were able to hang on. Puerto Rico trying to dip back into this one, and they do so via three-point shooting, the second best three-point shooting team in the tournament, as Nieves records the steal. Puerto Rico tries to set some things up in that first half. We saw Brazil get out to that 6-2 start, followed by a 15-5 run from Puerto Rico as they snap a streak. De Leon finishes at the free throw line. And then, like I mentioned, a 13-2 run by Brazil. Early on, Brazil was taking advantage of the size advantage down low as Sanchez hits a three. The triple from Natalie Sanchez. Make it a 7-point advantage for Brazil. Three-pointer on the way from Dara. Dara, one of the tournament's best players, just off the mark yet again, but averaging 15.7 points per game. Struggled from the field, but has hit an absurd rate, 44% of her threes, as Borges finishes underneath. Puerto Rico desperately needs Dara to turn it on. She's now 1 for 9 for 2 points, 0 for 6 from downtown Brazil, has the game plan figured out around Dara, who fires up the floater. Back iron, no. Rebound Borges, and size has really bothered Dara, who is now 1 for 10 to go with a rebound. But Brazil, using that size advantage early, got out to the hot start. Puerto Rico responded. A few adjustments. Off the bench, Nayerta Mirambo at 6'2", coming in off the bench, playing center. That was a very welcome sight for Puerto Rico, who settled it into a 2-3 zone, and it really slowed down Brazil until they were able to figure it out. They were able to settle in, move the ball around a little bit better, be a little bit more patient, find their shots, and it's led them to this run right now, up by 9. And on the defensive end, just not letting Puerto Rico get good three-point shots, forcing them inside into tough floaters against the drop coverage in the pick and roll. And aside from the rare foul here and there, a shot from De Leon at the free throw line, it has led to some success for Brazil, as 1 for 2 at the stripe. Nieves. 33-25, under 7 minutes in the third. Down low, Martins tries the reverse. Off the mark, Mirambo into the ball game yet again. The 5 on the floor for Puerto Rico as Nieves fires for 3 and hits. Much needed triple for Puerto Rico. the second of the ball game. They are now 2 for 15, started 1 for 14 from downtown. And we're back into a 5-point game. As Puerto Rico gets the stop. Can Puerto Rico make this a game and get back into it? They're going to need some more shots like that from Desiree Nieves. Now up to 8 points after knocking down the triple. She's out there with Adriana Robles, Nitra Mirambeau, Jaylee De Leon, and Maya, excuse me. Into the lane, drops it down. Mirambeau, no. The follow blocked by Ubata, and a foul against Robles. Back comes Brazil. As Mirambeau had just a beautiful opportunity right at the rim. Ubata was there for the second attempt, and the bench loved it as Cavalcanti forces the foul. Ubata up ahead. Martins will slow things down. Sanchez. As this high 2-3 zone. With a little miscommunication, Martins finds herself wide open off the mark. And the rebound. Canales up ahead to Robles. Nieves. Off the pick and roll, drops it down. Mirambeau. Nearly turns it over. Nieves thought about a three. Halfway through the third, Robles into the lane. Borges doing great on defense and a shot clock violation. Brazil's defense, outside of a few possessions, has been incredible. Over the last quarter, the last 10 to 15 minutes. As Puerto Rico had some things going, and that's a great way for them to turn things around. Turn defense into offense as Nieves pits the pocket of Brazil and finishes on the other end. 3-point ball game. This is a little sit-so run for Puerto Rico as Ubata fed down low. Fouled on the way up, and this was something that we've seen in the comments. As we're at 189 likes, let's see if we can't get to 200, but we've seen it in the comments. Those requesting for Ubata to get a touch every time. Zatian, I know, has mentioned it. Just has that size and strength advantage down low. Of course, hop into the YouTube chat by searching FIBA U16 Americas on YouTube. Or go to our website for a lot of information, FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16women/2023. Where you can make sure to like and share from the link. And interact with it in the chat, or join us on Facebook and Instagram at NextGenHoops using the hashtag FIBA U16 Americas. Thank you so much for tuning in as Ubata goes 2 for 2 at the stripe. The 5'11" bid down low plays for ADC Bradesco and has been a very welcome presence for Brazil down low as she bothers Mirambeau. A turnover, Puerto Rico up ahead. Ubata can't finish. Oh, board. No, again. Borges can't follow. Ubata all over it, but out of bounds off of her good hustle. But a 5-point advantage. Brazil looking to cut into that as they make a few substitutions. For Brazil, they have out there Sofia Borges, Michaela Cavalcanti, Sarah Martins, Nicolai Sanchez, Esther Ubata, the 5. The 5 starters all out there. Well, Puerto Rico, after a few changes, Maya Canales, Teresa Del Rio checks in, along with Alanis Iturino and Valeria Munoz. We've had some calls for Munoz in the chat, as well as Nirka Mirambeau, the 5 on the floor for Puerto Rico, as they are stopped on offense. Ubata tries the lefty pass. Good hands. Munoz comes away with it. Puerto Rico feeding the post. Del Rio spits it out. As now driving and an offensive foul called. Moving screen is the whistle. I believe against Del Rio. Yes, go ahead and let me know in the chat. Thank you guys so much for watching. First game of the quarterfinals. We are in the third quarter. Got some more love for Esther Ubata from Sarah Julie. In all caps, appreciate you chiming in. Abel Ortiz, thank you for the kind words. And I agree. The Brazilian team. Oh, he says not better than us. I'm not sure. Are you saying us or the U.S.? I believe you're saying us, but who are you referring to, Abel? Let me know. As Puerto Rico forces another stop, Brazil has kind of been stifled on offense. A tough quarter for offense. 8-7 right now. 7 minutes gone. About a point a minute for each of these teams. As the shot comes up and around the rim and in. Puerto Rico within 3 yet again. As Brazil still remaining patient on offense, down low. Nice move from Borges, just off the rim, and back the other way. Alanis Iturino. Driving inside and drawing the foul is Maya Canales. EJ says, watching from New Jersey. Appreciate you tuning in. Says he works in the field of women's basketball as a scout and is actively scouting Jada Dara, phenomenal player from Union City, New Jersey. Dara has had a fantastic tournament. Brazil has had the game plan for her, nonetheless. 1 for 10 from the floor in this game as she checks back in. And Puerto Rico turns it over. Munoz could not handle the pass. But yes, Dara, EJ, I agree, has had a fantastic turnover. She is a fantastic player. Has not had quite the game that Puerto Rico had expected, as Martins, three-pointer, no. And out of bounds off of Ana de Oliveira. As Zach Young says, why does Puerto Rico always have the best games? A knack for keeping it close, apparently. A few more easy shots off the mark from Brazil. As Abel Ortiz, appreciate you, sir. Off the mark and in. As Iturino puts it in. And we are in a 1-point ball game with 1.5 minutes left in the first. Or third quarter, rather. Timeout Brazil. 35-32. As Puerto Rico has a 5-point advantage. 12-7 in this third quarter. And it's not necessarily been pretty. Still 2 for 15 from downtown. 14 turnovers in the game. Shooting just 29% from the field. But they have grinded their way back into a 1-point ball game. Being led by a couple of players out there. Iturino scored the last basket. Jaylee De Leon has a nice couple of scores. And as you see, the three from Nieves, as well as a pick and score on the other end. As just slowly but surely, they've brought themselves back into this. Let me know in the chat what you think Brazil needs to do to get back to the way that they were playing in the first half. Got out to a lead by as many as 9 here to start this third quarter. And since then, it has been quite the Puerto Rico run. I believe they led 33-24. Puerto Rico now on a 10-2 run. Game of runs in this one. as we'll jump to the chat. We appreciate you all so much for tuning in. Abel Ortiz says, referring to the Puerto Rican team, they are right there in this one. That is very true. Daniel says hello from Croatia as we come out of the timeout. Dale says, come on, Brazil. Jacques says, vamos, Puerto Rico. As they are playing stifling defense. De Oliveira has 2 seconds, fires a deep 3. Front iron, no. And the rebound for Dara. Chipping in other ways. Alaris sending the Puerto Rican flag. Same with Jose. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Daniel says hello from sunny Croatia. I love that. Brazil narrowly holding on to that 1-point advantage. Ubata. Elbow line 2 and the follow good. Ana de Oliveira. As always, we appreciate you for tuning in to the YouTube chat. Go there, FIBA U16 Emeritus, or go to FIBA.basketball/Emeritus/U16 Women/2023 to find the link. And join in the chat. Please be respectful and no hate, as we are all having a good time and enjoying some basketball in a 3-point game here with 10 seconds left. Chance to tie off the mark for Puerto Rico. And last shot will be in the hands of Cavalcante, who fires a deep 3. Off glass and off the mark. Third quarter comes to a close 37-34. Brazil on top. Andrew Willett on the call. 1 quarter left to decide who advances to the semifinals and will reserve a spot in the FIBA U17 World Cup. Stay with us.
Carrying the expectations of an entire nation, representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands. It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
Welcome back here from Mexico, the host site of the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship, as we are playing the first game of 4 in the quarterfinals. Puerto Rico and Brazil find themselves in a fantastic ball game. 3-point Brazil advantage as they just tacked on more. Ubata inside for 2. I'm Andrew Willett on the call. Appreciate you very much for tuning in. As the 3-pointer on the way and in, Nieves. The only, or one of 2 Puerto Rico players to knock down 3-pointers. As Nieves knocks down her second, now 2 for 5, 40% from downtown. Very solid. Desiree Nieves, a lot of calls for her in the chat through the first half, has shown up here in the second half. The leading scorer across all teams with 13. 4 for 11 from the field, has really turned it on with 5 rebounds. A very impressive rebounder as well. As Iturino into the lane. Comes Nieves. And fouled on the way up. But on a night where the three-point shooting has really struggled, 3 for 18 for Puerto Rico. 2 of those have come from Desiree Nieves. And she is the engine of this offense right now. 13 points. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Try and tune in on YouTube by searching FIBA U16 Americas or going to FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16Women/2023, where you can find a lot of information, but especially the link to this live stream where you can interact in the chat. Make sure to like and share, or go to Facebook and Instagram at NetsGenHoops. Follow us there and use the hashtag FIBA U16 Americas. Thank you all so much for tuning into the chat. We're at 216 likes, 1,500 watching. We appreciate each and every one of you. Have a good time in the chat. Keep it clean and respectful. Yes, we've got a tie ball game. Little 5-0 run by Nieves all on her own. And we are tied for the first time since the second quarter. Actually, the first quarter, as we just saw a lead change in the second quarter. And Puerto Rico carrying some momentum now. Corner 3 on the way. Couldn't tell who shot that. So it looks like Iturino, but the offensive rebound collected. Nieves comes across the screen, attacks the second defender, nearly scores off glass, and a foul underneath against Brazil, it appears. No, they will call that against Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico looked very confused as well. As you see, that shot nearly fell from Nieves, nearly on her own 7-0 run. But still a 5-0 run and a tie ball game at 39 with 8 minutes left. So much on the line. Into Cavalcanti. Struggling against Iturino, playing some great pressure defense. Getting close. Great pass down low. Borges for 2. Brazil finally taking advantage of that size advantage they have down low. Borges. It's on the board again, up to 10 points. Only 4 points since a really strong start in the first quarter. As Borges has played fantastic defense on the other end. A big-time rejection of Iturino on her way to the rim. Borges with 10 points, 5 for 14 from the floor, 5 for 12 from two-point range. Missed 2 free throws. Has 11 rebounds, 5 of those offensive. An incredible double-double, 10 and 11 with 5 offensive rebounds, 2 assists, and now 4 blocks on the inside. Doing it all on both ends, doing the dirty work. As she contests a triple off the mark. And out of bounds, trying to get the offensive rebound. Adriana Robles. Wow. What great defensive play down low. And great play down low on both the offensive and defensive sides. 4 blocks as well as 5 offensive rebounds. And a 2-point advantage for Brazil, but they turn it over. Corner 3, shot on the way. In and out. Rebound Ubata. And Nieves. Mr. Last 2 after a 5-0 run has had quite the game as well. Brazil commits turnover number 16 in the ball game. 29.3 turnovers. Not great on average for Brazil. 7th worst, in fact. Had 22 in their last game, a win over the Dominican Republic. Their lone win in this tournament in pool play. And right now they have themselves set up with a 2-point lead off the steal. And an offensive foul is called. De Leon. Wow. Back and forth we go. Neither team really able to take a strong advantage at this point. 41-39. As Robles takes it up the court. Guerra gives it up quickly, guarded closely by Sanchez. Trying to break down Ubaka. It's Nieves inside. Can't finish the follow, no. And right there to clean it up, Robles. Make it a tie ball game, 41 apiece, and Ubaka fouled on the way up. This has really been the key for Brazil when their offense has gotten going. Is they're able to push ahead of this Puerto Rico defense before they can get all set up. And so that's what they're trying to do. What they haven't done a great job of. But when it is working, that's the game plan, as they found Borges and Ubaka for a few opportunities around the rim. So when Puerto Rico sets up in that full court press, they're able to slow down Brazil, or they're just able to set up in that 2-3 zone. It really gives them troubles. But Ubaka making a clutch free throw. As we're nearly 4 minutes down into the fourth quarter, and a 1-point advantage. Puerto Rico still yet to take the lead, but they have tied it a few times after trailing by 9 in the third quarter. Offensive rebound, put back, no from Martins. And a 1-point advantage, a chance to take the lead here for Puerto Rico. Guerra nearly loses it, nearly turns it over. Puerto Rico gets out of it. Into the lane, Nieves, no on the left hand, nice finish. Great save from Ubaka, but it comes back to Puerto Rico. Canales gets it out. Robles. Robles off the handoff. Shot on the way. Over the rim, no. And rebound Sanchez pushing. The bids for Brazil did not get down the court that time. Did not find them on the way to the rim. Ubaka inside. Now working. Tries to tip it out, does. Sanchez thought about a three, steps into a long two, banks it home. Nicolás Sanchez. 5.7 points per game in the tournament, just 35% from the field, but knocks that one down. And she's up to 7 points, just over her average, 3 for 8 from the field. Has quite the response from Nieves. Up the other way, Sanchez. Back to Borges, who can't grab it, and fouls on the other side. Borges, who's had a great game, commits just her second turnover. Man, that stat line picks up her third foul, nonetheless. Could be impactful down the stretch. Sophia Ubata chiming in the chat, says, go, go! Ubata with some muscle emojis and the Brazilian flag as we did a timeout. A 1-point ball game halfway through the fourth quarter. Brazil and Puerto Rico coming down to the wire. I saw a comment earlier, I apologize not remembering where it came from, but mentioning that Puerto Rico has really been in some close games outside of the United States game. That is very true. Against Mexico, they narrowly eked out a win, 78-76. And then Colombia, a 5-point win, 67-62, and that's how they captured the second seed in these close games, and they find themselves in another one. Can they take care of business in a game where they have trailed in large part since the middle of the second quarter? Some big shots down the stretch from Sanchez and Nieves. Nieves has really put the team on her back down the stretch. She's up to 17 points, 5 for 17 from the field. but has knocked down 2 of the 3 Puerto Rican triples. 3 for 21 they are from downtown. The Colon kid says Puerto Rico has some great guards. Love to see it. Monica says Vamos Puerto Rico. Juan Pablo says those missed layups might decide the game. That's very true. Vaughn says Puerto Rico. Oh my gosh. As we are coming down to the wire. Nieves into the lane. 2 defenders at her, and she still finishes. Give her 19 points on the afternoon. Holy cow. Nieves, Desiree Nieves has hit a different zone as she forces a turnover on the other side. 4:08 to go. She's given Puerto Rico the lead and the ball. 19 points and counting from Desiree Nieves. As that ties now the 8th highest scoring game from a single player in this tournament. Michaela Cavalcanti, another player, also tied 8th from her last game against the Dominican Republic. And they're going to need some magic from her down the stretch, as she has not had the best of games. Cavalcanti with 11, but she's been shut down since the first half. All 11 came in the first half. She's 0 for 2 here in this second half. Does have 5 boards and 5 assists to go along with 3 steals. But Cavalcanti going to need to help her team score. Puerto Rico, coached by Michelle Gonzalez, has put in a great game plan against her. On the other side, for Brazil, Luciana Tomazini needs to figure out how they're going to cover Desiree Nieves. We were all prepared for Jada Guerra in this game. Guerra averaging 15.7 points per game in the tournament. The second leading scorer through pool play. And now finds herself with just 2 points, but has not taken a shot since the middle of the third quarter. Still receiving a lot of defensive attention. As out of the timeout, Puerto Rico, a 45-44 advantage with 4 minutes left. Nieves driving in, shot falls. Nieves is on fire. Now just 2 points away from tying the highest scoring game. Came from her teammate, Adriana Robles. And has tied Jada Guerra for the highest, or for the third highest scoring game, with 21. Into the lane, Ana de Oliveira, no good. Rebound Nieves, doing it all. Desiree Nieves now with 7 rebounds to go along with those 21 points. 7 for 19 from the floor, taking over. Guarded by Michaela Cavalcanti, gets the high pick and roll. Now attacking Borges into the lane, fires up a wild shot. Out of bounds, it will go back the other way. 3-point ball game. Here with 3 minutes left. Zulimar says from California, shouts to my cousin Jada Guerra, number 3. One of the best players in this tournament. Luckily, has some help from her teammates today. As looking to feed the post. And Sanchez just barely gets it to Borges. Misses the baseline jumper. And it's Puerto Rico finding themselves in another close game that's coming down to the wire, and they seem to have taken control. 2.5 left to play. Still a lot of time left. Nieves just 3 points away from becoming the highest leading scorer as she passes it to Nales. 3 at the end of the shot clock. No. Thank you so much for tuning in here on YouTube. Search FIBA U16 Americas to get over here. We're having a great time in the chat. or go to FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16Women/2023, where you make sure to like and share and interact with us. You can also do that on social media on Facebook and Instagram at NextGenHoops using the hashtag FIBAU16Americas. Make sure to follow us there and subscribe to our YouTube channel, FIBA, the basketball channel. Ange says, chew the clock. It's not a bad point, Ange. Also says, excellent defense. Conflito and Jose say, vamos. Let's go Puerto Rico from Eddie. As Brazil tries to dip back into it, Ubata fouled on the way up. Juan Pablo says, man, if there was a 6th player of the team award, Nieves will take it hands down. Of course, Nieves did start in this game, Juan Pablo. 7 for 20 from the field, 21 points. 5 for 6 from the free throw line to go along with 2 triples as Ubata hits some clutch free throws. Ubata we've seen some great performances from as well in this tournament. Power forward at 5'11". Able to rattle home both free throws, clutch free throws from Ubata. And now just a 1-point game yet again. This could go either way down the stretch. Sofia Ubata says, let's go Ubata, with a heart and 3 Brazil emojis. She's now 6 for 10 from the free throw line as Nieves finding her way to the rim yet again. Nieves with a chance to keep tacking it on. Sofia Ubata sends the waving emoji. Appreciate you for tuning into the chat. Lawrence Hufford says, hold on to your seats, folks. Byron says, Viene Puerto Rico. Sofia Ubata yet again. Thank you. Vamos Puerto Rico from El Leon. Juan Pablo, understood. You're all good. She still has had a great game as she makes it back to a 3-point ball game. And now, tied for the most points in a single game in this tournament. Inbound to Ubata, up ahead Sanchez. Sanchez left open. Now the ball down low, Ubata. Shot off the mark. Borges on the follow, no. And out of bounds, back the other way. Puerto Rico. Back and forth we go. Puerto Rico looking very strong. Ryan cheering for Puerto Rico. Jose says, vamos defense. Someone's got a guard Nieves, I see from the chat, as Robles drives, hits. Corner 3 on the way. That time, no. Rebound, Nicolás Sanchez. Still a lot of time as Sanchez all the way up. No, Ubata. The follow, fouled on the way up. Ubata getting more trips to the free throw line. And Ubata with a chance to bring it back to a 1-point game, as I believe they'll actually call that foul on the floor. Byron sends the Puerto Rican flag. Thank you for tuning in, Byron. Monica cheering for Puerto Rico again. Eddie says, let's secure this W. As Davalcanti, met by a double team, hits it to Sanchez for 3. That one just off the front of the iron, no. And a 3-point ball game. Puerto Rico in control. Nieves breaks away from the defense. Creates for her teammates. Another shot, and that's good. Big time triple. Canales. Maya Canales finally gets one to go. And a 6-point advantage for Puerto Rico. Timeout Brazil. Maya Canales was 0 for 3 prior to that triple. Buried it. and might have buried Brazil with it. It will take quite the effort here in the last 57 seconds from Brazil, as they have really struggled to score here in the second half, especially the fourth quarter, being outscored 18-9. 9 points apiece in the third and fourth quarter with a minute left. As their scorers, Sofia Borges, Michaela Tavaltanti, and Esther Ubata, either aren't three-point shooters, or for Tavaltanti, has not been able to get much of a shot off even. As another look. Canales, the clutch triple. And met by her head coach, Michelle Gonzalez. Puerto Rico might have secured a win. We'll see what Brazil comes out with from the timeout. Again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in to the YouTube chat. As Andres says, bro, Juan Pablo says, big shot. We've got a dagger call from Zach Young. Ange says, that's Danster. Wilfredo says, vamos. As it was a huge shot. Mark says, vamos. Braulio with the Puerto Rican flag. As the inbound comes, Cavalcanti fires and hits. A big-time triple brings it back to a one-possession game in just 4 seconds. Now can they get the stop they need? Puerto Rico up by 3. Driving, dropping it off. Ubata comes away with it. Now Sanchez with 40 seconds. Sanchez across, gives it to Martins. Martins attacks inside, drops it off Ubata. No, on the follow. No again. And the rebound comes away. Puerto Rico, and the foul is called. Canales, I believe. No, that was Nieves. Nieves having the big-time performance, 23 points. Took the hit and a little bit of a limp coming up. But heading to the free throw line, a chance to add to her performance. Took the hit right there to the waist. Might have lost her breath. Juan Pablo saying bid shot, referring to Canales' shot. Lawrence Hufford says ice in her veins. Nancy saying let's go Puerto Rico. As Ange saying eat the clock again. That was a huge shot. Brian Willett says the answer. Sofia Ubata cheering for Michaela Cavalcanti after that big triple. Ubata just missed a couple of chances at the rim last time around. Ange says a prayer. Zach Young says, yo, not so fast. Medell saying hello to all. There's 2 big free throws coming. We're at the line. Desiree Nieves having the best game of this tournament for her. 23 points. Potentially the best game out of anyone in this tournament. A free throw away from the highest scoring game as the first one in and out. 7 for 20 from the field, 2 for 7 from downtown, and 7 for 9 from three-point range. Danny says, let's go Puerto Rico. Midel cheering for Puerto Rico. Same with Javier. And there's the highest scoring contest anyone has had in this tournament, and a 4-point advantage with 20 seconds left. What does Brazil have? De Oliveira, no good on the 3. The rebound given right over to Nieves, who was fouled yet again. And 2 more free throws coming, as this one might be over. Nieves with a chance to ice the game. As Brazil with a hard-fought contest. And Justin to make it a one-possession game. with a 2. Suit ahead says Puerto Rico never disappoints. And they call it potentially a Tate foul as Nieves knocks down 2 more free throws, adds to an even higher total. And a sideline inbounds coming for Puerto Rico. What an offensive explosion from that player right there. Gets it in. 26 points. Brazil will not foul. No, they do with 3 seconds left in a 6-point ball game. And Robles heads to the stripe with the highest scoring ball game. Passing teammate Adriana Robles, who is at the stripe. It's Desiree Nieves with 26 points, 7 for 20 from the field, 5 for 13 from 2-point range, 2 for 7 from 3, and 10 for 12 at the free throw line. To go along with 8 rebounds, 2 of them offensive, with an assist and 4 steals. As Robles tats on the finishing touches. Puerto Rico takes control late. And with that, will advance to the FIBA U17 World Cup in Turkey in June of 2024 and to the semifinal round of the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship. The passion, the hard work, the flag, and the love as the teammates celebrate. Puerto Rico qualifies for the FIBA Women's World Cup U17 in 2024 and advances on to where they will now play. Looks like they will play the winner of Canada and Mexico in the semifinals. They get the job done. 57-49. Take a look at some stats from the field. Wasn't the best shooting game for either of these teams. Brazil shot 26% from the field, 29% for Puerto Rico from 3-point range. Puerto Rico just struggled with 17% from the field compared to 19% for Brazil. But they get to the free throw line several more times. 13 for 16 from the free throw line compared to 8 for 14 for Brazil. They lose the rebounding battle 52-50, relatively close nonetheless. Have fewer assists, 15-7. Turnover battle was won just narrowly by Puerto Rico, 19-18. They have 12 steals compared to Brazil's 9. And only 1 block compared to 5. But behind the strong play of Desiree Nieves, Puerto Rico, as they pose for the photo and celebrate at the podium, pulls off the close victory behind a very strong second half, 57-49. As you can see, advancing, qualifying to the FIBA Women's World Cup U17 2024 and advancing to the semifinal round. For Brazil, they were led in scoring by Michaela Cavalcanti with 14 points, 12 from Esther Ubata, 10 from Sofia Borges, 7 from Natalie Sanchez, 4 from Sarah Martins, and 2 from Ana de Oliveira. For Puerto Rico, up the board, Jada Guerra, the second leading scorer, held to just 2 points, and her team still pulls out the victory. 2 from Natalia Centino, 2 from Teresa Del Rio, 2 from Nierka Mirambo, 3 from Mia Canales, a huge 3 down the stretch, by the way. 4 from Alanis Iturino, 9 from Adriana Robles, 7 from Jaylee De Leon, and a big time 26 points from Desiree Nieves. 7 for 20 from the field, 10 for 12 from the free throw line, with 2 big triples out of the 4 Puerto Rico hit. To go along with 8 boards, 1 assist, and 4 steals. The player of the game, no doubt, as Puerto Rico comes out on top, 57 49, advancing on to the semifinals and most importantly, qualifying for the FIBA U17 Women's World Cup in Turkey in June of 2024. Still 3 games left on the docket today, with Argentina and Colombia coming up next, the USA and the Dominican Republic following that, and Canada and Mexico closing out today's action as we have quarterfinals action and one team advanced already to the semifinal. I'm Andrew Willett. Thank you so much for tuning in. That team advancing, Puerto Rico, 57-49 over Brazil. Stay with us as we've got a lot more action after this. Find it on the FIBA, the basketball channel.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation? Representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands. It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.